Hello friends, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and I wanted to show you how I powder up my eggshells to get them very, 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 very powdery. So I have a lot of different types of mortar and pestles, but I find the best way to get a powder is out of this one that I just showed you for the hot foot powder. But I have to tell you something. I have two of these and there's a reason for it. I have one that I make hot things in and baneful things in and workings that you cannot touch with your hands. And then I have this one. And in this one, I even do my white eggshells, the ones that are not made of brown. And the reason is because these are organic, cage-free happy eggs, so they go in the happy bowl. And then the other bowl is for, you know, things that are hot, things that are poisonous, mixing up crystals, things like that, and also things that are baneful. So the white eggshells, they come from chickens. I buy the cheapest eggs, and those come from chickens who were never released from their cage, never saw the light of the day. They were actually raised sitting in their own feces. It's a really sad way that it happens, but my mother, she purchases the white eggshells. And see, this is one of the only things that I'll keep in plastic, is white eggshells. But anyway, if you, so I always keep them separate. And I even mix them in separate bowls, and then I store them in separate types of containers. So white eggshells to the side. These are all brown eggshells, organic, free range, happy chickens. Now when you wash, you're done using them, what you want to do is you want to rinse out all of the membrane from the inside that you can while the egg is still wet. Okay, so right after you crack it, before it has a chance to dry. Otherwise you're going to end up with these really curly little bits that don't grind all the way. And you're always going to have a little bit of that in there just because it's hard to wash it out completely. But I want to show you some tricks for how I get this, I believe it's called Carcilia powder, but eggshell powder to be as fine as possible. And I'm just going to demonstrate today how to do the brown eggshells, okay? Now, the reason I like to use this, I believe that this mortar and pestle is called a molagete, is because it's made of natural rock, it's made of a natural lava type stone, and it has all these ridges on the edge, where when you see me use this, it just has an extra grinding level to it. Now, I do keep in mind, when I do my brown eggshells, I do them in a clockwise motion. And when I do my white eggshells in a very separate mortar and pestle, I do it in a counterclockwise motion. Okay? This is for, you know, lighter workings versus baneful workings. Okay? And I also do a little bit at a time. So don't take them all and try to crush them up. That method doesn't work so well if you want to get this fine powder. This fine powder right here. And you also want to wear a mask because a lot of dust is going to come up as you do this, okay? So let me get situated here. And I just peel that out if I can. It'll dry inside. You don't want that in there. So take your finger and just peel all of that white inner membrane out that you can, without losing any of the shell. Okay, now, I like to use my hands to crush it up initially. I feel like I can get the smallest bits that way, to where I'm using my hands to crack down all the shells until it's about to this size. Okay, now I might do, see, there's a membrane in there, you just pop it. Peel out as much of it as you can. See these little membranes? That's just going to keep it not as powdered. And I think these were saved by somebody else for me, so they didn't get any of the membrane washed out. So just getting as much as you can, and again, bringing it down with your hands and crushing it. You can do this all with this little guy, but I tend to like to do the initial crushing just with my fingers. Be careful, it is sharp. Eggshells are sharp. If I'm making it for a certain reason right now, I'm pushing my intent as I'm crushing that. Usually I use eggshells for protection, fertility, abundance, things like that. But it's important that you do try to take the membrane out as much as you can. Now with these dark brown eggshells, you'll notice the shell's a lot thicker. It's a lot stronger. It's a better quality tasting egg, in my opinion. But yes, the price point is there too, you know. Organic eggs are $5 a box rather than, for a dozen, rather than, I don't know, $1 something for white eggs that, but man, if you're just thinking about eating those energies, and I tell you right now I can't afford to eat organic all the time, but there are a couple things in my life that I will not buy non-organic, like milk and eggs. And the milk is because I don't want all the, you know, hormones, antibiotics, etc. in my body, and pesticides, etc. And then the eggs is because I would rather go without eggs than imagine eating from those sad chicken spirits. And so I just, me personally. Now, if my mother makes me breakfast, I try not to think about it, you know. But at the same time, you know, you do what you can. Our survival is our first instinct. If we can't afford to eat organic, we can't. But if we can afford to do it, why wouldn't you do that for your body and just for the purpose? Okay, so let me show you. I think we've got enough here. It's about 2 eggshells total that's in here right now. And I want to show you how to do a little bit at a time and why. Okay. So again, we've got them crushed down to their, like, all you can crush with your fingers. The rest needs to be powdered. So I take this little guy, and you know you can come up at it, up into the walls like this. You can go around in your circle, clockwise, counterclockwise for the white. That's how I do it. And I like this because you can even go in little circles within the edge. And you'll see dust starting to fly. This is why it's important to either kind of blow it as you go, but be careful because you might blow the shells away. Or just wear your mask, your dust mask. Otherwise you end up with some funky eggshell boogers. Now, at this point, you're going to start to see if there's any little bits of membrane in there where you can take those little guys out. And doing it a little bit at a time, it actually makes it go quicker and more proficient. Otherwise, I have to do layer by layer, take them out, do a little bit more, and my fastest way is to do a little bit at a time in a bowl like this. But I honestly do love eggshell ASMR. I know I don't have microphones or anything, but it's good stuff. So before I do that, I need to get the powder out. We'll do some more, and you get the gist of it. But at this point, you can find those little membranes that may not be ground up as small as the other powdered bits on the inside. And yes, it is to a nice powder by now. At the end, you can take a brand new toothbrush or one that you use just for this and dust all this out, because there's quite a bit of eggshell dust in there. And you just take that dry toothbrush that's not been used, but for magics and cleaning this bowl out, and you can take all the rest of the dust out, because look how tiny this dust is. I mean, it is pure powder at some ends. So see that dust that's coming out? Real dust. It's full of it. So I try to wait to the end to get that out. Let's do one more layer for you guys. And this is just going to be stuff we've already done. So unless you want to see some more, you could stop the video here, or you could just keep watching because it's fun. But yeah, eggshells are just great. I love to put them into my protection sands for the outer border of my house. Like my monthly, you know, preventative witchcraft stuff for protection, for evil eye, for evil energies, abundance, health. Yeah, eggs are great for evil eye. You know we take a full egg and you can take it over the body and crack it into a glass of water and all that. Some little bits of membrane there. So you get the gist. I'm going to continue crushing up my beautiful organic happy eggshells. If you guys want to purchase any eggshells from me that are either just these organic ones that are free range happy eggshells, or if you want to purchase the white negative eggshells that I have because my mother uses a lot of them, and we don't want them to be thrown away. That would be a very big waste of something that could be used. So I have an abundance of those shells as well if you need them. My Etsy shop is connected below. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and thank you for being here with me today. Jen, the Taxidermy Witch. All my love to you guys. If you would like to join Patreon, where I made some hot foot powder earlier today in a bowl like this, or I didn't make it, I showed you what I used to make it, but I didn't actually do the making. We talked about what to do, what not to do, and how to keep it simple and why. So if you guys would like to join the Patreon, that's in the description below as well. We are doing daily videos there because I'm not uploading to YouTube as much. I'm taking kind of a break from YouTube. But this is the type of stuff I'm doing on my Patreon. Some like real witchcraft stuff, getting back to showing you what's going on in my studio, but at the same time keeping a bit of privacy to my workings, as we all should, you know. Alright, so it was lovely seeing you. Have a beautiful day. Ta.